Hey guys, welcome to my demo. Today I'm going to be sketching the Palazzo Vecchio in Florence and a Medici lion. Ooh, 2 for 1, statue and building. So exciting. And so this lion, this Medici lion, is actually right there. You can see him in the photo. He's right there. And that's what he looks like. And he's so gorgeous, and I can't wait to sketch him in person. And so the way I'm going to do the composition of this sketch is I'm going to put that lion right here in the front. So the way this paper will be broken down is in thirds. Think about it roughly in thirds. So 1/3 is the tower, 1/3 is the building, and then below that 1/3 is going to be the lion. And then widthwise, you have 1/3 is the building, and then 1/3 is the building on the right side, and 1/3 are the buildings on the left side. And that's how I'm going to lay out this sketch. So the trickiest part about this sketch are these angles here. These angles. So I'm going to put this building right in the middle, right about there. Okay? And I'll get rid of this lion. And then this building will be right in the middle, more or less. And approximately that size. Yeah, approximately the size of this photo. Now that I look at it. And so I'm going to raise them up a little. Yeah, that's right. And so the trickiest thing is going to be this angle, but this is how you do it. Look, you put your paper, your pencil on the paper, just like that. That's marking out the angle, right? Just hold your pencil still, and there's the angle. Woo, tricky. So that angle is like right about like that, but it's a bit higher up. So it's something like that, and you can test it. Here's how you test it. There's the angle that you think. And is that the right angle? Yeah, it's approximately the right angle. Yep, well, maybe a bit more like this. There, we captured the angle. Look at that. Let's test it again. So put your pencil on the paper. Make sure the paper is lined up with the edge of your sketchbook. And then pull the paper away, and there's your angle. So maybe I haven't quite got it right. Just check it again. Oh, it's a bit higher up. Yeah, that's approximately the angle. Cool. Okay, I'm going to use a ruler because it makes a quick line. Ruler. Okay, there's our angle. And the way the photograph is taken is that you can see there's 3-point perspective. And so all of these vertical edges are meeting at a vanishing point that's way up here, okay, like that. And that's cool because that makes it kind of funky, and I like that. So using my ruler, I'm going to make an approximate line, and you can do it the same that I just showed you with this angle too, if you want. It depends. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's try it again. Can slide. Oh, it's like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not important. You can make it as funky as you want. Okay? And you can do that with the other side too, if you want. Now we're sketching from photos. From life, you wouldn't be able to do this. Something like that. Okay, and there's our shape. And then across the bottom, this bottom line is going off to a vanishing point over here, but it's really close to just straight horizontal. So I'm going to make it just a little bit off. And then this one just is going off like that. So there's our building, and then they're all, well, this one anyway is going off to a vanishing point up here. And then we've got this side building over here. It's something like this. And also like that. So I'm just putting in some shapes really quickly. And let's see. And these side buildings I'm going to put in later. Okay, so for now, this is what we have. Now, I'm not going to use this ruler a lot. I just wanted to get some quick lines in. I think if you use a ruler a lot, it loses, in my opinion, it loses its charm. So, this building seems to have 4 sections. This section at the top, and then there's a row of windows, 2, another row of windows, 3, and then the bottom. So, here's your top part. And then you've got a row of windows here, and another row of windows here. And you've got like, well, a bit lower. And you've got like a weird row of windows in the middle there. We'll get to that in a second. Nope, sorry, it's supposed to be this one. Okay. And this top part, which I don't even have a name for, is coming out. Something like that. And the bottom of those arches are going to be something like that. Okay. And we have a tower, and the tower is coming up somewhere like this. Now this tower, I can tell you a little bit about this building. This tower is called what is it called? It has a name. Well, I'll look for it later. Anyway, this tower is built not in the center of the building. It's deliberately built not in the center of this building. Okay, and then there's an arch, another arch, and then there's this crenellations up here so that they could throw hot oil down on their enemies and stuff. Fun stuff like that. Okay. Probably my tower's a bit fatter than in the photo, and that's okay. Doesn't matter. All right, and then there's something here, something here, something here, and then there's 3 windows in a row here. I'm just marking them where they're going to go. And then we have these crenellations at the top here. Now, this is just roughing in pencil. I'm going to fix all the mistakes later when I add pen. And there's these crenellations across the top here. And I'm just roughly putting in some markings where I'm going to do them later. And I try to go as quick as I can, but I'm still a very slow sketcher. And we have these rounded bits. Am I counting them to make sure they're exactly right? No, not on your life. No way. I'm just putting in roughly what I see. Does it matter that I don't get the exact right number? It doesn't matter at all. I promise you. Okay. Nope, sorry, this goes down. So it's more or less like this. All right. Okay. And now these windows. So the top of the window, I'm going to say this is the top of the window and this is the bottom of the window. This is a really wonky looking building. It has weird windows. I'm not going to do them exactly the way they are. I don't think that's important to do them the way they are, the way they appear. I'm gonna make my building a little taller. Made it too short. There we go. And so, look, it's got these odd windows. They're not like symmetrical. And something about the non-symmetrical windows makes me crazy. And then there's a row of these like little squares, little square windows. There's a square one here, and then there's sort of one below. And then there's a few more windows. And then there's a balcony here that comes out with an arched door and 2 flags and some supports. Okay. I'm not going to worry about this windows on this level just yet because we need to put in our lion, and our lion is going to go here. Okay, and so we have some windows here, and we have these little square ones, and then we have these ones. Okay, I'm going to put in our lion now. Roughly. So the top of his head I'm going to put here, and then there's the bottom, and we have the paw on a ball, and the ball is like right about here, maybe a bit bigger ball, and then he's standing here, and okay, and so his paw is coming like right about here, and I think this part here, I think this, I get a darker marker, I think this is the edge of his paw, and underneath his belly is like here. This is supports, so I'm not going to put that in. Okay, and then his tummy is not, he's not so long as this. Yeah, he's not so long as this. And he has a back leg here. I think his leg is long. I think the whole thing is longer. And that's okay. Back leg is roughly here. And he's going to look a lot nicer, I promise you. And then he has a paw here. Oh, my printer has cut off the back of his leg. Weird. Okay, and then his tail is coming here. So I think he has a tail like here. All right, this is just roughly roughing in this guy, and he's going to look a lot nicer later. Okay, so that's him roughed in. That we know where he is now, and I'm going to go back to the building. So now that I know where the line is, believe it or not, the front door of this building is over here. It's crazy. I can't deal with the lack of symmetry there. That's bugging me. But anyway, that's and so there's some kind of a decoration here over the door, and then there's like a black thing. There's like a small door here, and then there's like a black box here, rectangle, and then there's some stuff behind his head. All right, I think that's good enough. And then over here we have a row of arched windows that get increasingly larger. And am I counting them? Not at all. Okay, and then there's a door. All right, I made it longer. There's a door here. And so right here in your image, that is a replica of Michelangelo's David. But I'm not going to put him in. He's just too small. I can't really see him. And then over here we have another building. And these buildings are turned in a bit, so they're not going to the same vanishing point. And there are definitely taller in my sketch than they are in this photo. That's okay. It's fun. And I see just 3 arch windows there, and another one here. And then I think there's probably like a door or something down here. And And we have 3 arch windows here and a little arch here. And then there's some stuff happening over here that I can't tell what that is. That's just dark. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll give it a doorway. And then there's something else happening over here. Okay, I don't know what's going on over there. It gets so dark that you can't tell. And then here on this building, we'll make this the top of the arch here. So we have 3 arches. Okay, and it looks rough. Yes, it does. That's okay. And what's happening, I know about this building. Oops. Wow. The bottom of the building is actually here. Sorry, I forgot that I had lowered this building. Okay. Okay, so in that case, I need to lower everything down. I forgot that I had lowered this guy. So the top of the building is like right about here. Take this one out. And then there's a bit of trim. And then there's like another bit of trim. And then the tops of the windows are like right about here. The arches are right about here. Okay. All right, and they get increasingly wider as I get closer to you. And the building goes something like that. Now, I know that there are stairs here on the front of this building that lead up. And this is very rough, but I'm going to put in like a few stairs right here. And they go like that. Okay, I know this is rough. It's always rough. And I'm just roughing in what's going on in here. And then there's the wall seems to be painted darker on the bottom half. And then it has some kind of arches. Like I think there's a tracery archwork on the ceiling, if I recall, from when I was there, and it goes something like that. Okay. And then there's a building behind that we'll just put in. And, but I'm not going to paint it or anything because it's not important to this sketch. It's just background. I think it's really hard to see anyway. So something like that. Okay, those are my basic pencil outline. And this has a big angle here with a bunch of windows. And some more over here. Okay, there we go. There's my basic pencil outline. Fun, 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 fun. Okay, I'm going to start in with my pen now that I have a basic pencil outline. I'm going to be using this is a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen F. And it's probably, in some other brands, it would be like I don't know, so it's a much thicker, I don't know if you can see that, a much thicker pen nib. And I'm just going to use it for the outside bits. And this is where I fix all my mistakes. So, let me just get that. All right. So, we've got this crenellation on the top. Okay, and it's coming down. I have the corner. So this is the Palazzo Vecchio, and it was built in between 1299 and 1314. And it was a residence. It was the residence workplace of the officials of the Republic. And originally it was called Palazzo della Signoria. But when Duke Cosimo I de' Medici moved his office to the Palazzo Pitti in the mid-1500s, he officially renamed this former palace the Palazzo Vecchio, which means the Old Palace. Okay, now these are tiny little arched windows here. Okay, and there's some beautiful decorative artwork up here and so on, but I can't really see it because the picture's just way too small. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I am so excited because I'm going to be sketching this exact view when I go there in September with Hazel Sohn. Hazel's going to be teaching a workshop there in September. Okay, now the crenellations here. I kind of just hope that they that I got the right number, that it works out odd even wise. Now, is this going to be photorealism? No chance. All right, so I'm doing this so that you can see that it's a 3D part of the building. Okay. Now, if I were there in person, I would be eyeballing this whole thing. There we go. Are you guys having fun? Oh my gosh, I am having so much fun. So much fun, and we're getting there. We're making good time. Okay. All right. So I don't know what these things are called, but if you look carefully in the image, in the photo, you can see that they have the coat of arms behind them. And I think they're called corbels under these arches. And behind there are the 9 painted coats of arms of the Florentine Republic. And some of these arches, apparently, can be used as embrasures for dropping heated liquids or rocks on invaders. Wow. When I'm walking by that building, I'm gonna be looking up to make sure nothing's falling on my head in case they think I'm an invader. Okay, super fun. All right, cool, so fun. Okay, and now these arched windows. Are they perfect? Are they exactly the same? No. And you know what? They seem to be sitting on a kind of ledge. That's going straight across like this. Okay, that's fine. Works for me. Same with these ones. And these ones. And these are Gothic windows. And how did they describe them? I wrote some things down. which I can't. Oh, Gothic windows, each with a trefoil arch. So I think that means that inside the Gothic window, they've got trefoil, meaning it looks like that. With the three leaves. But our sketch is too small to see that. So I'm just going to go like this. You really can't see it. It's too small. If I were closer up, making a sketch of the building that's closer, I would put that in. But I'm just going to do that. So that's sort of how it looks to me from here. And they sort of have a cross piece in the window. Okay, and then there's these crazy little square windows. I don't know. There's something about the lack of symmetry to this building that's making me crazy. And then there's a couple of arched ones here, dark, just smaller dark ones. I don't know. It seems weird. Like, how do the floors work on this building? That's what I'm asking myself. And then there's a sort of a white one there, a blank one. Okay, and then we have this balcony that's sticking out with some supports and a flag, and a door. So fun! Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun. And these side windows. Okay, and then these little square ones. We're making great time. Oh, and I forgot this arch up here, and then the side arch. And it looks like what I'm seeing here is that, you know, it's got some kind of a little cone sticking up like that. So we'll put that in there. I can't really see it very well, but that's cute. So this tower is not in the center of this building. It's off to one side. It was built that way. I don't know why, but that's what they did. So, and then over here we have this building coming down. And it's got some decorative stuff going on up here. Sort of has 2 rows of decorative things going on. And I can't really see it. It looks like this to me. And it might be like these little arches. Who knows? Could be. And then it seems to have little, like, I think they're pierced through so you can see the sky, but I'm not going to bother worrying about painting sky in there because that's just way too small. But I'm just going to draw in what I'm seeing, like a little squared windows. And when I'm there in September, I'm going to look very carefully to find out what it actually looks like. Okay, so these arches coming down like that. And I appreciate that you might have a hard time seeing my pencil lines because I erased and then I fixed it and so on, but I know what I'm doing. I got it. Okay, and then there's the inner arch, that like the other side of it that you can see. Something like that. And then it's hard to see. You really can't see this in the photo, but there's some stairs here. And this guy, this lion is right there. There's 2 of them. They're called the Medici lions, and one was built during Roman times, and the other one was built, it was sculpted in the 1590s. And I think they're so beautiful, and I would love to sketch him in real life. I am really looking forward to that. That's super, super, super cool. Okay, so there's our stairs. And you can't really see the floor in this photo. And I'm wondering if, yeah, I don't think you can see it. So it has, this building is full of statues. And this building is called the Loggia di Lanzi. And it was built between 1376 and 1382 for the purpose of housing the assemblies of the people and where they would hold public ceremonies. And it's full of statues, including this lion. And there's two of them. One built in Roman times and one built in the 1590s. Okay, and then it has this, some kind of, there's arches on the inside from the ceiling that come right down the wall. And I can't see them very well, but it looks something like that to me. And then we have this building over here. And it's just a background thing. Okay, and this has a piece of trim. Goes like that. And then there's four allegorical statues there. So I'm going to switch. Well, we'll keep going here with this part of the building. So this other building, so there's these crenellations again. And goes down. There's probably a lot of detail on these buildings, but I can't see it in my photo. So if I were there in real life, I would go up closer. I'd have a closer look. I'd walk over. And I'm looking forward to doing that in September. It's going to be so fun. We're going to go to Pisa. Oh my gosh. I'm going to tick off sketching the Leaning Tower of Pisa is going to be ticked off my sketching bucket list. And I am really looking forward to that. That's going to be so fun. And I hope you guys will join me. All right, so I'm just putting in these windows. And then there's something going on over here. I'm not sure I'm going to pen him in. I might leave him out. We'll see. Okay, now this lion, I'm going to put more detail in now in pencil because I don't feel comfortable yet. I don't feel like I have enough information in pencil before I make a permanent sketch in pen. And I really want to work it out in pencil first. So our lion, his mane is coming up about there. And I think he's a bit taller. I think his head is coming up a bit higher. And no, that's about right. Yeah. Okay. And his paw coming like that. It curves and it curves again. Okay. And edge of this ball. There. Now maybe the ball is a bit bigger. Okay, I can make this ball a bit bigger. All right, so he's standing here, this far down. And that means the ball is a bit bigger. Okay. And this paw is coming like that. Okay. And you can sort of see 3 toes. And it curves up like this. And the underside is going like that. And this stuff, I have another printout, thank goodness, because this printout cut off the back of his leg. Okay. Sometimes you think you see something one way, and then when you take more time to really look at it, you realize that's not how it goes at all. But you have to take time to really look. Okay, I'm feeling much better now about the about this lion, and he seems to be standing on some kind of a pedestal thing. This is what I'm seeing anyway, something like that. And I can't see the back end of it, but I'm assuming it's something like that. Wow, I really am filling the whole page. I wasn't planning on doing that, but that's what happens sometimes. There, so his paw is more like that, something like that. And I don't think it's as wide here at the bottom as I've made it appear. Okay, and then he seems to have, this lion reminds me of the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz, because he has these lovely curls that looks like he went to the hairdressers. Okay. All right, I think that's not too bad. Seems to have 2 rows of curls in here. Okay, and then basic face shape. Okay, and he has, nope, that's not right. It's down a lot lower to here. Okay, we're gonna work on his expression and everything else in pen. I'm just getting some basic shapes in so I know where they are. And I think that's more or less right. Okay, and then some curls here, and I think this is his ear over here. Hard to see. Okay, I'm just putting some basic shapes in. And thank you guys. Thank Thank you all for joining me. I hope you're having fun sketching, because that's what art should be. It should be fun. And I know sometimes it's a business. It is for me anyway. But the bottom line is art should be fun. Should have a good time when you're making art. And it's really good for you. You know why? Because you're problem solving. And the older we get, the more important it is for us to have opportunities, especially if we're retired. I'm not, but if you are, it's important to have opportunities where you're actually solving problems. You're problem solving. And you are problem solving when you make art, because you're figuring out, okay, what goes where? Right? Like what should be here and what should be there and so on. And how is this in proportion to that? And you're looking at size and all those things. And that's problem solving, and that's really good for you. Okay, so I think I'm really happy with this line now. I think it's working out okay. This one a little bigger. So I'm going to go back to the building. Now, what's missing in our building is this top row here. So I'm just going to make a line. No, too high. And lower. Like that. And these are arches. Actually, they're taller. Look at all my lines. Okay, so they're taller. And am I going to count them? No way. I'm just putting in some of these arch windows. Okay, and the same over here. And what else is missing? Oh, I guess this building has some of these little square windows as well. And it looks like there's a window here. I think there's one here as well behind this. There's a statue. And then there's some windows behind his head. And yeah, I think we're good. So this is actually the front door of this building, and it's off center. And across the top of it is an ornamental marble frontispiece, it's called, dating from 1528. And if you look closely at it, it's blue, and it's got a couple of little, I think there's probably lions or something here on either side. Looks something like that. Got like a sun or something here, and then it has the decorations on the top. Okay, and here above each one of these, in the corner there, are four what do they call, allegorical figures of the cardinal virtues: fortitude, temperance, justice, and prudence. So there you go. And they did them like this. They put a triangle, and then they put that. This is the shape I'm seeing. Okay, and inside is a figure. And the figure is too small to worry about. And so I'm drawing something that roughly looks like the symbol representing the women's washroom. Because I'm guessing they probably have, they're wearing like a gown or something like that. Okay, anything else that has to go in here? Don't think so. Okay, I'm going to go switch back to my pen, and I'm going to put these shapes in. Can you see that shape is really small? Okay, and I'm gonna just actually I'll do it with the other pen because it's just too small. This is the extra small Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen, XS. All right. It's so small. I can hardly see it myself. Okay. And switching back. Okay, so we have a doorway. And in this photo, you can't see the depth, but it's probably there. And then this thing has some kind of decorations off the top of it. I can barely make out. I see a circle, and then there's like some kind of animal. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a lion. It's just a simple shape. It's something like that. And then there's a window here. There's a black rectangle. It's probably a plaque. And then we have our window, another doorway. Okay. I'm still thinking about this one, whether I'm going to bother. And then these windows. Okay, and these guys. Is this the weirdest, freakiest looking building you ever saw? I think it is. I think it's hilarious. Super fun. Okay, oh my gosh, are you guys having fun? I am having a lot of fun. And what can I tell you about this building? This tower is 94 meters tall, high. It's not in the center of the building. It contains two small cells that at different times imprisoned Cosimo de' Medici, the Elder, in 1435, and also Girolamo Savonarola in 1498. And the tower was named after its designer, which is, so the tower is called the Torre d'Arnolfo. And it has a one-handed clock that I'm going to put in with a my smaller Pitt pen. A one-handed clock. There we go. All right, let's do our lion and pen. Go back to our lion. And I'm just going to do a basic outline for our lion first. And now I'm like committing, aren't I? I'm committing to this lion shape. And I think I see a claw. I think there's a claw in this guy. Looks something like that. Okay, and our sphere. Sometimes I just work out the shapes in pencil, and then when I go to put them in pen, I feel much more confident. But I'm also sort of on the alert as I'm putting them in pen to see what mistakes I made in the pencil. And whatever mistakes I made in the pencil, then I will, now's the point where I will fix them. Okay. This is just the basic outline shape, and I have to look at my other printout because it got cut off on my printing. So something like that. That is back. And you know who's really good at drawing animals is my friend Christina. Oh my gosh. It's going to come to me. As soon as I started to say it, then I lost it. And she's really good at it, much better than I am, because she is an illustrator of children's books, and she does a gorgeous job. Okay. Okay, now his face. So I always find that lions to me look like they're smiling, and because they have their mouth open, just the way they look, you know, but I don't think that's the intention. To me, the best way to get that sort of scary lion thing is by the wrinkles on the face. That helps. Okay. And that first pencil work that I did is just for me, helping me to figure out where stuff is. And it might not be right, and that's okay. It just is there to help me sort out where things are, so that I can put them in. Now his eye shape. And he has these wrinkles coming down. And his nose. Okay, so we'll come back and work on that a little bit later. I don't want to use the large fat nib pen. I want to go with a finer nib pen for the features. All right. So now we're just putting some of the curls of his hair. Doesn't he look, I don't know that lions look like this. I haven't looked at a lion lately. I think Hazel Sohn could probably tell us what lions actually look like, since she goes on safari all the time. And she is a super smart lady and super talented. And she would probably laugh and say that's not what they look like at all. But because it looks to me like he had his hair done. So I'm just putting in some curly things to represent his hair. Okay, so that's good enough for the hair. Oh, and he has 2 rows of curls down here that look braided to me. I think it's continuing on down his leg here. And here he also has some. And there. Okay, so the rest I'm going to do with a different pen. So in terms of shapes, I think we got all the major shapes in. I'm just going to look and see. I don't see anything else. I guess there's a bit of trim up here. And it's 3D. You can see it a bit like that. I don't think anything else is missing that really has to be in here. Just checking it over. And I think we are good. Yes, I think we're good. I think that's good. Okay. And the lion. So yes, there are details missing, but it doesn't matter right now. We can do it after. I'm just looking to see if there's anything that's missing that needs to be in here before I erase the pencil lines. And I think everything that needs to be here is here. Okay, so I'm going to erase the pencil lines now. And I hope you guys are having fun, and I hope you're super happy with your sketches. I think it's going well. There's a lot of crazy windows, a lot of, you know, these battlement crenellation things, and then there's the fur on the lion, and there's this wonky perspective that you're looking at, and there's just like a lot of stuff going on in this sketch. And that's okay. That's what makes it fun for me. I think that's what makes it fun. And when I was looking, trying to see what these tiny little lions look like that are here. So there's statues all inside this building and in front of this building, and there's these two lions. This one's here and the other one's here on either side of that staircase. And I was trying to see what the lions look like, and I came across this photo of the lion, and I thought, oh, I have to sketch him close up. That would be so fun. So now I have this gum eraser, which was brought to my attention in Paris in June by the lovely Elizabeth Shoemaker. And she pointed out that it's really good because if you get black pencil marks on the edge of your hand, this is really good for just like cleaning up the paper, getting that off the paper. Even if, you know, you didn't put a line there, it might be there from your hand. So it just brings that white back on the paper, which is really important. Now I saw some pencil lines, but it doesn't pick up a heavier pencil line. So you really need a more heavy-duty eraser for that. Where else? Okay, I'm happy with my penned in sketch. I hope you guys are happy with your penned in sketch. Okay, let's put some color on this puppy. All right, I think we're ready to go. Now, before we do that, let's just see if there's any bits of detail that still have to go in. Yes, I think our lion needs probably a bit of work on his face. And you can see also that you can see the bones really coming through his loose skin. And he's got some wrinkles on his face. On his nose. And I think that's what's supposed to make him look fierce, is the wrinkles. Now, he seems to have some lines in here, but I'm not sure about putting that in because I'm not sure that's going to read right. And I think there's some teeth here, but I don't think I'm going to put it in because I don't think it's going to read right. So I'll just leave it like the way it is. And what else is missing here? I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. I think there's probably some marks on. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, and in terms of the building, going back to a thicker marker, we have, I'm just going to put some black in behind this, behind my ladies' washroom symbols. And they are really too small to worry about. And after this, I'm going to go in and put some black line on, I'm going to darken those black windows on the main building. Okay, see, it's just really too small to be worried about too much, these little figures that are in here. Just really want to show that there are figures in here. There, that's good enough. Now this is a 3D thing. Okay, and these windows. It's a busy building, isn't it? It's like a lot of stuff going on. No greenery in this piazza at all. No leaves to worry about sketching in the background. just tons of weird, wonky looking windows. And I think I'm guessing there's probably a bell up in here, but I can't see it. So I'm just gonna blacken it. And these windows, probably there's some detail to them, but I can't see it myself. So I'm just going to do them black. Okay. And these windows have a bit of reflection on them. A bit. Here, there's some reflection on this window. This one, and this one at the top. Otherwise, I'm just going to do them black. And I think that's a window there. And these are black to me as well in the photo. Okay, these have a blue to them. And then this is probably a plaque, but I can't see it. I just see a black rectangle. And this doorway as well. Just gonna blacken it because I can't really see. I'm sure there's probably a very thick wooden door with metal studs or something, but I can't see them. Okay. And darken these doors as well. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys are having fun. I am having so much fun. All right, and these seem to have that same shape here. And they seem to be, I seem to see a bit of reflection on the light. So we'll just darken, I'm going to just darken half, the one side, and then we'll put some, we'll make it look like there's reflected glass there on the other side. And the top. And these little square windows. And these also have that kind of shape. So Michelangelo's David stood right here from 1504 to 1873 when it was moved to the Accademia Galleria, and a replica was erected in 1910. And so a replica of Michelangelo's David stands right there in that spot. And on either side are Hercules and Cacus are standing there with him. I think they're all standing around nude, you know, as one does when you're in Florence. You just stand around in the nude if you're a guy. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Okay, and then this building. Oh yeah, this one had, so okay, I'm just gonna give myself a little guideline here. This one has these weird archy things. Okay. There's probably more stuff on that building, but you really can't see it. Okay. And is there anything else that needs to be put in this sketch before we go to paint? I guess there's like a little bit of a decorative line there, decorative indentation of some kind. And I guess there was a line across like this. I didn't stick to it. And there's some kind of indentation here as well. And below. And in here, so in here are the these underneath here are these flags or whatever that represent the what do they represent? I am stuttering here. It's ornamental, and I think they represent different noble parties or whatever in Florence at the time. Okay, I think we're good with pen work here, and there's some there's some windows and stuff going on here that we can put in, but it's just in the background, so I don't want to put too much detail in there. And this floor probably goes like that. And now that I've done that, I have to put a back line in. Okay. All right, so I think we're done with the pen work now. And I'm just going to take this last bit of pencil off. And then let's move to watercolor. Yeah, that's going to be super fun. Okay, so now we're going to have some fun putting some color on our painting. And see if we can move this over so that you can see some things. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to worry too much about color mixing and getting the exact color and so on. I'm just going to go straight in because this is just a quick demo, a quick sketch, just for fun. And I'm using some burnt sienna here. And what I'm going to do, oh, I forgot one thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not paint the part of the building that is in shadow, that is in sunlight. And that is right about here. Seems to be a line that goes something like this. See that? So everything above that is in direct sunlight, and I'm going to leave that part white. I'm going to paint below that part, and I will show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to go right over the black because I've used a non-soluble pen, so it's not going to bleed. Okay, and I'm going to put the shadow in after, so I'm just going right over it all really quickly. And around these windows. And I'm going to go right over these because these should have been done in black, but I forgot. We'll do it after. Okay, I'll leave that one white. I'm going to try to keep this wet. And these should have been black as well. Okay. Try to spare our flags. And around our lion. Okay. All right. So I want to, I just want to splash in. Well, I'll do the front of this, but this tower as well. Okay. And now I just want to splash in some darker color because that's what I'm seeing. Up here in this corner. And if I do it while it's wet, then I won't have like a solid line. It'll kind of just blend in. Oh, I painted over that window by accident. That's okay. Actually, maybe I'll try to lift it off. Just get it clean. See if I can lift it off. We'll try to keep that area. Okay, and I see it seems to be a bit darker on the bottom. Oh, there, I just went over my flag. Oh well. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to use this darker color over here as well. And just for fun, I'm going to make this next building here a little bit more red. I'm going to actually switch to a smaller paintbrush. This is a size 1. And then it's quite dark on this last building. Over here. Oops. Right above that. So fun. Okay, so this building got a kind of a reddier brick to it. Over here. And the top part seems to be like a brownier color. So I'm just going to try to keep our little statues, little figurines in there. white. Try not to go over them. Okay, I hope you guys are having fun. I am having so much fun, and really so great that I have this opportunity to feed my creative soul, which is really important because we are creative types, and you need to feed your creative soul. Otherwise, you're just not going to feel happy. You're going to feel, at least that's what happens to me. If I don't sketch in a while, if I don't make art in some way, if I don't do something creative, it doesn't have to be sketching, but if I don't do something creative, I just feel not myself. I feel like I've lost something. I'm not really being me. So it's me that I'm going to make this a little bit redder. So I'm really grateful for this chance to sketch with you guys today. And look at all the warm colors that are coming out on this sketch. That's fun. And the top part, I'm just going to make less red and more brown. A two-tone. And there's little, well, yeah, there's little openings I see for the sky to come through. But you know what? I can't be bothered with that. That would just take too much time. And it's quite dark. I'm mixing some Payne's Gray in here. And I'll do a bit down the side here. And in here. So it looks really dark in the picture, but in real life when I was there, I remember that it's quite light and airy. And it's pretty cool that they designed that building that way. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. Today, this building here is used as the Town Hall of Florence. How cool is that? I think that's pretty cool. Now let's look at our lion here. And what I see for this lion, where's my photo? Okay. What I see for this lion is a kind of a pinky marble and then some gray tones. And so that's what I'm going to mix up here. Put a little ochre in and some cad red and really water that down and a lot. Gray it out a bit with some Payne's Gray. I think it's a bit too pinky. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do the whole thing over in the one color, and then we'll put in the shade and so on, shadows, after. Okay. And I'm going to mix up a bit more of this Payne's Gray. I'll just put it on top of there. Oop, too dark. For his this pedestal that he's standing on. Okay, and this is pretty dry. And I'm just going to put some, and maybe brown it out a bit. Some gray back here for this building, just to put it in shadow. And I'm not going to put any detail on it at all. And I'm putting some water here, just plain water. And then I'm going to add this darker part and it'll flow in there. It seems to be get it flowing. I didn't want it to be too dark, that's why I added the water. But it is in shadow. Okay. Super cool. So fun. All right. Now, and let's see, are we dry? Yeah, I think we're dry. I had a drip there. Drip here. Okay, so using a larger brush, this is a 1/2 inch. I'm just gonna paint with water, sort of the outside here a bit, because I want to put a sky in, but I don't want to have a solid line. So I want it to flow. All right, so there's some paint on there, some water on there. And now I'm going to mix up my blues. And I'm not going to worry too much about clouds in the sky and all these things that are there, which is really nice. This is just a quick demo. So I'm just going to mix up a puddle of blue here. And then I'm going to paint it on. And I'm going to hope that it will blend with the water that I put around the edge so that I don't have a solid edge to the sky here. I'm hoping that it'll just flow in there. So I'm hoping that it'll bleed into the edge. I see a little puddle. So I think it dried over here. I'm just putting some water on the edge. There we go. Seems to have dried. Okay. I'm just gonna dab here. There. I might have to muck with it a bit. Right here. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it now. That's fine. All right, so let's go back and look at this lion. work on him a bit. And I think most of this is dry now. So I'm going to work on the line. I'm just going to work on these little windows here, and I'm going to use a Caran d'Ache watercolor pencil 3888, and the color is light green. And I'm just going to put that in these windows. And why am I switching to watercolor pencil? Because I don't really like painting tiny little bits with like the 3 hair paintbrush. I don't really like that. I like to just get the job done as quick as possible. And there was some reflection here, and here. And these Caran d'Ache are really lovely because they're so soft, and they just get on the paper really quick. And I'm going to use this color, which is also Caran d'Ache, and it's light blue 161, to go around here, because I could not be bothered painting this with a paintbrush. That would be too picky for me. And yeah, that's it for that. Now I want to put some shadow and on this lion, and I'm also going to be using this is a warm gray. It's Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencil, and it's 8200 274. And I also have, I'm using a black Albrecht Dürer watercolor water soluble pencil. And I'm going to just use this to put in the shape, because I don't really want to do it with a watercolor, because it's just too small, little bits, too hard to paint. So I'm just going to use this watercolor pencil, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it flow and make it look like watercolor by using a Tombow smudger. Okay. So, and I'm just sort of outlining these sort of clumps of hair on here, because it gives it more of a 3D look. And this smudger that I'm about to use is pretty cool. I just sort of discovered the smudger, using the smudger with a watercolor pencil. I just discovered that recently. I'd seen it done with watercolor paint, but I'd never seen it done with a watercolor pencil before. And so when I discovered that, I thought that is the coolest thing. You know, so it looks rough with the pencil there, but it's going to, it will get smudged and smoothed, and it'll look more like watercolor in a minute. Okay. Maybe around the toes a little bit. Front of the leg. Okay, and now I'm going to put a bit of this dark gray in. Well, actually, he needs some black around his eyes, I think. It's in here. Yeah. And now some gray around his mouth. And so you can do this with watercolor if you want. I don't really want to because that's just too picky for me. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so now, this is the Tombow brush pen. It's N000. It has no color. You can see it's a little dark on the tip, but that's because I was using it already. But I'll just show you, it has no color. But what it does do is it smudges, and I think it's called a smudger, so that and you have to be careful because the watercolor pencil is just like watercolor, it's full of paint, and see how it's smudging it all. Okay. Isn't that fun? And I'm liking this because I don't really like to paint small bits with paint. I get, I don't know, I'm frustrated with the small bits. I clean this off. Okay. So I didn't rub the whole thing. I left some bits untouched. Okay, super fun. Anything else to be painted here? Oh, yeah. I forgot. Okay, so for the shadow on this side here, I'm just going to put a little bit like this. So what I'm painting then is just actually the shadow. I'm leaving the rest of it light, and I'm going to paint here to get that 3D effect, and here. And up here. Okay, and I also realized that I forgot to darken these windows on here. I think we're almost done, guys. Oh, these guys. These windows. And I think that's all we needed to do. I think we're done. That was super fun. I mean, if you want, we could put a bit of a gray tone. In here on these steps. There. I think we're done. That was super fun. I loved it. I hope you're happy with your sketch. Oh, you know, we should probably put one more thing. And I'm going to just do it with this gray pencil. Should probably put some shadow in here. Just because it's... I'm just doing with the gray pencil because this is such a picky small piece. Ugh, can't be bothered painting it all. This is faster. Okay, one more thing. Although you can't see anything here, I sort of feel like the line is a bit floating. And so I just want to put in a few little marks just to show that he is not floating. He is actually standing on the ground. So I'm just going to put a few little marks to indicate that this is actually he's on the ground somewhere, like just little stones or something to look like there's some texture here. And as you can see, I'm making them larger and smaller as you go away. Okay, just a few little marks so that he doesn't look like he's floating. And okay, so he doesn't look like he's just floating there. I'm just putting little dots with my pen. And I'm going to quickly put in a little bit of color using the Payne's Gray and a lot of water. Just a light bit, a little light wash. Okay. And put a few variations in this color so it's not just solid. Seems to be quite a bit darker right at the foot of this building. And there, just so that he's not floating in space. Okay, I think that's good. I'm super happy. I hope you had a great time sketching with me. I had a fabulous time. Super fun, super fun. And I want to invite you, if you enjoyed sketching with me today, maybe you would enjoy subscribing to Feed Your Creative Soul. It's weekly tutorials taught by me. And every week there's a new sketch, something like this. This one's particularly long. I don't usually make sketches this long, but sometimes they're longer like this. And we sketch, and we just encourage the habit of sketching every week to get that creative juices flowing and to feed your creative soul, because we are creative people, and you're just not going to feel happy and satisfied, and you're just not going to feel happy if you haven't fed your creative soul on a regular basis. And so it's a subscription model, and once a week you get a new tutorial. And so yeah, if you're interested in that, it's www.studio56boutique.com, and click on the pull down menu called Online Workshops and look for Brenda Murray. Also, come with me and sketch Florence in real life. It's going to be so fun with Hazel Sohn. She doesn't sketch like me at all. She is a professional watercolorist. She goes in watercolor only, and she makes gorgeous sketches. She's world renowned. She's listed in Wikipedia. She's been sketching for years and years. She has 35 best-selling books, and she's going to be a fabulous teacher in Florence. We're going to Florence, Pisa. We're going to sketch the Leaning Tower of Pisa, talk about checking things off your bucket list. And we're going to go to San Gimignano, I don't know how to pronounce it, a hilltop village in Tuscany, and we're going to sketch there one day too. It's going to be super fun, and you're invited. And so come, join me. It's going to be really fun, and that's all I have to say. So thank you so much for coming today. Give yourselves a hand, and happy sketching, everyone, and take care. All right, bye for now.